Hello again, everyone. As promised, this is our update episode that I recorded with Chris and Brittany, kind of catching us up on the last year and a half or so, probably 2 years by the time this comes out, of what they've been doing and what they've been working on. Because I mean, this is the first time that we had all been able to get together, mostly them, in that amount of time. Chris has been working on all kinds of different movies. He'll talk about it. Brittany's mainly been working on the Taylor Sheridan stuff here in Texas, which would be Landman and Lioness. But she's got a few other movies in there, including one with Pierce Brosnan and Samuel Jackson. And I thought her Pierce Brosnan story was pretty great. I'm a big Pierce Brosnan fan, so it really spoke to me. I think I would have melted if he'd approached me in the way that he had approached her on the film. But anyway, you have to listen to hear it. We recorded this a while back, so they're already off and working on other things. But this is kind of the Cliff's Notes of where they've been for the last little bit in the time that we've had the podcast taking a break. And I hope you enjoy it. Oh, welcome. Look who's back. We've got everybody here. Chris is remote. Let me see.
Yes, way too important to be in person today.
Yeah, I'm going to put you full screen, Chris. Yeah.
Look at him.
So
like a real Bravo show.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So where are you going, Chris?
I am going to West Virginia right now. Speaking to the Real Bravo show. Yeah, we should make that Real Filmmakers of Houston. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, we should. And you've been home for what, like a couple weeks basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, before I went to Austin, it was like a month or so, and then and then I took off to Austin, and then it's just been busy after that. You know, it's summer, so everything's getting kind of crazy.
Right. And how long are you going to be on the show in West Virginia?
I'm only out here for a week, and then from there, I literally drive back to Houston. I'm there for like 2 days, then I'm up to Oklahoma. So.
Fun.
Yeah, sounds like you're busy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
So this, since you guys haven't been on in a while, this show is all about catching up with you guys, because people ask about that too. They're like, what are Chris and Brittany doing? So that's what we'll do. I'm going to shut up and just prod you here and there where needed. So since you're on the road, Chris, I'm going to give you the choice. Do you want to go first, or do you want to listen to Brittany? That sounded like that sounded like a punishment. I didn't mean it to sound like that.
Wow, I'm leaving right now.
I'd say let's start with Brittany.
Okay.
Oh dear.
So just so you can get your thoughts in order, because she and I were talking about this beforehand. The last podcast I recorded before we started again was in August of 2024. So right before the movie came out, right before In Betweening came out. So think back to that time.
Gotcha.
Use all your muscle power, brain energy.
All right.
Sit and think.
Well, you can while Brittany's talking, you just half listen and get your
exactly. Just drone me out. Here we go.
Okay, so Brittany, going back to August of 2024.
Yes.
Or right before, what have you been doing?
Well, it kind of a lot. Yeah, it exploded about that time, because we went through a big writers and actors strike in 2023. So there wasn't a whole lot happening. And then as soon as that ended, fortunately for me, it exploded. It didn't explode for a lot of people like they thought it was going to, but I got wrangled into the Taylor Sheridan universe and started working on Lioness season 2 when it moved to Fort Worth. And that started in May of 2024. So I was on that until September. And then I went on a delayed honeymoon right after that to Ireland, which was fun. Right. Yeah. And then, from then there, it's pretty much been like Taylor Sheridan show after Taylor Sheridan show. I went from Lioness to Landman season 2 to Lioness season 3, and that's been keeping me busy for the last 2 years.
That's pretty impressive. Yeah, I mean, the idea would come up, maybe we can try to do something. That's when I realized, I was like, no, you're jumping from like one to another to another to another.
Yeah. It's been nice. It's funny because I remember when I first jumped into this, we were so used to, of course, the indie world where everything was like 6 weeks to 8 weeks, long, and then you were on to something else. And that's kind of my attention span. So when I joined the union and people were talking about like, oh, we're on these shows for 6 to 8 months, I actually had anxiety and was like, that's a little too much of a commitment for me. I don't know if I like that. And now I'm like, oh, if I could get a show that would just last like a year, that'd be great. So I'm fortunate that those shows are about 7 to 8 months with prep and wrap.
Yeah.
So,
so you got your monkey's paw wish, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would have assumed, well, I would have thought that there would be bigger breaks in between the shows, but he's got so many that, I mean, he's exploded obviously in the last several years, and all of his contracts that I can't even keep up with all the different studios. You're pretty much jumping on one show to the next. So you might have a few weeks off. I'm currently unemployed. So fortunately, I'm trying to absorb as much of that time as I can, because we're a little unsure when the next one will start. It's kind of all rumors right now. So, I'm just trying to get my life back in order so that if another 2 years happens, then I can be on for that. So,
right.
But yeah, it's been a good time.
And specifically, I guess for those you've mentioned on the podcast before, but specifically, what were you doing on those shows?
Yeah, I was these specifically. I was doing special effects, so anything atmosphere, rain, fire, smoke, wind. Anything that moves on camera that's not been actor motivated. So, special effects. The last time, honestly, that I did any kind of script supervising, I can't remember if we talked about it before the last time that I was on, but I actually worked on the show Mo that was here in Houston.
I don't think you I remember you did that, but I don't think you mentioned it.
It was, it's funny because I got hired onto that one. I sort of cold called that one. This was back at the beginning, I think, of 2023, before the strikes happened. And I kind of cold called them and was like, hey, if you need effects people, like, call me. And they're like, no, we don't. We're comedy. We don't really need effects. We don't do that. And I'm like, okay. And then about 3 weeks later, they emailed me and was like, hey, we have some effects. Can you come help us out?
Yeah.
So I kind of day played with them here and there. But then I told them that I'm also registered in the union as a script supervisor, and their current one needed off for like a day or two. So I came in and covered for them for that. But I want to say that was probably the last time I supervised, which has been 3 years ago now. So pretty much solely in the special effects fire world.
Do you prefer one or the other?
That's a hard question because scripty obviously is mentally exhausting, but effects is physically exhausting. I want to, I was going to say effects because with script supervising, it really depends on the show and the director you're working with, because you get some directors that just think your job is pointless and they won't listen to you, and then you just feel useless on set, and that's kind of a crappy attitude. But then you have some where they lean on you heavily and you get to really be a part of the creative process, and so it's a lot of fun. But with effects, it's like no matter what, we're blowing something up today. Or I say that, sometimes we don't, but whether or not it makes the final cut is another story.
Right.
So sometimes you put all this work in and then you don't see it, which is disheartening too. But people always say like, well, you got paid either way. But it's like, yeah, but I like the craft and I still like the art form of it, and it's fun, and, I want people to see it. So I guess there's pros and cons to both. It just depends on how tired I am physically or mentally. So,
right.
But I think right now I would say fire.
Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Fire is good.
What is the coolest thing that you've pulled off? Like blown up, set on fire. What would you say is your favorite thing that you've done?
Oh gosh, that one's hard too. I would say it's actually probably a tie between a show that I did. I did a film in New Mexico at the end of at the beginning of 2024 in New Mexico, and we did a propane tank explosion, but it was one of those like 42-foot long propane tanks. So it was just I think we had 3 55-gallon barrels of gasoline, and we had kidney stick, which is, I guess, similar to like dynamite for those who don't know. And then, deck core. I mean, just like all the explosives to make the biggest explosion that we could make. We literally had to do it on like the bomb squad's property, and we had to actually shut down the airfield going in and out of Albuquerque for like 20 minutes to actually make this explosion happen. So that was pretty cool.
And which show was that for?
It was a movie called Trap House that's on Netflix right now. Go see it. Dave Bautista.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So that one was pretty cool. I've actually not seen the final cut, so I don't know what that explosion looks like. So, so part of me almost...
it's pretty damn awesome. I watched.
Is it? You did? Oh,
it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to go watch it someday. It's on my like watch list. I just haven't had time.
Yeah. I mean, all the effects and stuff are cool.
Yeah.
The movie is.
It's like an 80s like sign out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Thank you. Yeah, there was that, and then it kind of on Lioness season 2, which was right after that. It was basically just war scene after war scene after war scene. And so while it was one of the hardest shows I've ever worked on, because we were working literal 100-hour work weeks, it was just fun because I like working under the pressure and just being chaos and, high intense environments. And so we were pretty much working with all the same types of explosives, but it was just, we'd have like 8 different elements going off on random ranches out in Fort Worth. And it was just, I got to work, I was being told, fortunately, I was able to work with a lot of people in the industry that are coordinators and have been in the industry for 30 plus years. Again, because the strike, when it ended, it was slow to come back. And so I got to work with just a ton of people that I don't think I normally would have ever worked with. And they were even telling me that I was lucky to have been on the show because some people go their entire careers and don't get to work with the types of explosives that we work with, because a lot of people go to CGI now and it's cheaper to, do it all in post-production. But people like Taylor Sheridan and like Ryan Murphy's of the world, they really like practical effects. So I've been lucky enough to be on projects where they want the real thing. And so I think it's a tie between that one explosion on the Trap House and then pretty much the whole season of Lioness season 2.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, because I just wrapped season 3, so that's why I have to specify.
Got you. And you mentioned, we were talking about the Dave Bautista movie before we started rolling. There's a funny sort of thing you talked about in production, so you share that story.
I'm trying to remember what we talked about. I'm getting
how they had
to
shoot around.
Oh yes, yeah, that one. I was saying that film, while it was a lot of fun, it almost felt like a Groundhog Day because we had to film everything with Dave Bautista, and then because of his schedule, he had to leave. So then we went back from the beginning and reshot all those same scenes from the other side of him with his stunt double. So it was just like the day that would never end. We kept showing up to these, sets, and it was like, weren't we just here for a week? Why are we back? What is happening? And so it was entertaining because his stunt double and him look 100% like each other. I mean, you can hardly tell them apart, and they're both extremely, extremely nice people. So it was a lot of fun. But sets in New Mexico are windy and cold, or at least it was cold when we were there, and you didn't want to be there. So when you wrapped a set, you were happy to leave, and then we had to come back to it like 2 weeks later. So it was just like, it was bad, but still fun overall.
Yeah. So that was a feature, and then you worked on the 2 shows that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. Were there any other features in there?
We did one. Well, we did a feature not in that time frame, but actually before the New Mexico. I did a feature called Unholy Trinity in Montana. That one was at the end. Yeah. So
that Pierce Brosnan one?
It was, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that one actually was at the end of the 23, and it was during the writer's strike, but they got a waiver to film. So we were fortunate enough to get Samuel L. Jackson and Pierce Brosnan on that one, which was very entertaining for different reasons. But that one was cool because that was my first feature or first project that I was listed as a coordinator on as special effects. So I was, in charge, which was very scary.
Yeah.
But still a lot of fun, working with a lot of people that I had worked with before and a lot of new people, out in Montana, which was the most beautiful place ever until it snowed. And then I didn't want to be there anymore. But yeah, it was like 50-mile-an-hour wind, not gusts, but just wind.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It was an old Western film. So it was just like old school, breaking glass, shooting through windows and, bar stools and just all of that kind of fun, old school special effects that we got to do, squib hits,
Mm-hmm.
and it was fun too, because I think, I say we because mostly my team impressed a lot of the people there because they had been kind of working on those lower tier productions.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
I'm bringing kind of like these big guys that have worked on these huge endless budget productions and were able to pull off things that they didn't think we would be able to. So that was really cool. They were all super thankful. Yeah, other than the cold weather, I think that was a really good production. What was, I think, the most cool about it, actually, recently I was on an airplane and it's on Southwest's like movies you can watch when you
Oh,
go
yeah,
on to there.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So
Yeah,
I
I did-
screenshotted
I worked on
that. Yeah. So, but yeah, that feature and Trap House, I think, are the only two that I've really done in a very, very long time.
And on those, how much, since a lot of the stuff you do is like background or maybe like, I guess, second unit, I would assume, how much interaction do you have with the main cast?
So that varies a lot because with the Unholy Trinity, I felt like we had it. There really wasn't first or second. It was just everything. Well, there
Mhm.
kind of was with some of the horse riding, but of course that's all with stunts and not really much to do. But with that particular one, we pretty much were one-on-one
yeah.
with those actors. But it also was a smaller production.
Mhm.
There was, it wasn't a very big crew, so that was neat, being able to have those conversations and interaction with those guys. But then on something like Trap House, you were on set with them, but I mean, we were never really like squibbing them or, anything to do with the actor. So while you might be standing next to them, you're not really like conversating with them or having direct contact with them. Like you said, it's more second unit with kind of the stunt doubles and things like that. So
Okay.
I think it depends on the production, because it's kind of the same with some of the shows that I'm working on now. It's a lot of like stunt doubles. I mean, you don't want to put your high dollar actors in the middle of a fiery explosion.
Right, of course,
so-
of course. The reason I ask is because you talked about Unholy Trinity being the first one that you were listed as coordinator, right?
Right.
And I just immediately went into my anxiety and like just imagine myself in that situation, having to do something. And the first place my mind would go is like, this dude's been Bond in 4 movies. You know what I mean? Like, is he
Yeah.
going to question what I...
Oh, right. Oh,
you know
no,
what
there
I-
was 100% that.
You know?
Not as much with Pierce because he was just like the biggest gentleman on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
planet.
that's what I figured, yeah.
So yeah, no, it's actually, it was really funny. I had to tell just this one little side story with him. The first day that he was on set, we were installing torches on the entrance of this Western town. And he pulls up in this Escalade and gets out and just makes this like V line right towards me. And I'm like telling my guys, how to do this stuff, like where to put them, the torches. And they're like, hey, Pierce is like headed towards you. And I just keep looking around and I see him and I'm like, oh God, maybe they're like getting ready for rehearsal. Like, am I in the way? But I don't know where to go because
Yeah.
I kind of can't move from what we're doing. And he just keeps walking straight up to me. I mean, just straight to me. And he takes off his glove and he looks at me and he shakes his hand and he's like, hi, I'm Pierce. And I'm like, I know. Like, it's just one of those like things. I'm just like, yeah, you are. Yes, you are, And so I introduced myself.
I
and
thought
he-
Chris fainted when
I
you
did.
said that. My heart
It
fluttered a little bit.
It was just like, oh, okay, and then he's just talking about how beautiful the town is and how good of a job we've all done,
Yeah.
and then the director comes running up to him and it's like, Pierce, we need you on the horse, to do this rehearsal. And he's like, okay, excuse me. And he just turns and then just jumps on top of this horse with like no assistance and rides off. And I'm like,
It's like a Family Guy bit
oh
or
my
something.
God. Yeah, I mean, it really was.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, that's my first, I love this guy,
Yeah,
he's
that's
great.
awesome. Yeah.
And he was the whole time. Sam was a much different personality, but I loved it because he was obviously just everybody's kind of like on pins and needles with him, because he's done this for however long he's done this for. He knows what he wants. He knows what he's going to get.
Yeah.
And he expects everyone to be on a higher level. And a lot of these people weren't, so they were just terrified.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny because we had a lot of meetings, and I would bring things up and I would get shot down because usually of budgetary reasons, or they just didn't think that they wanted that.
Right.
And then Sam would kind of come in and be like, well, we need this. And it's exactly what I said. And then, of course, they'd have to make it happen because Sam said it, And so I was like, oh, I like him, But we did one gag with him specifically where he slits a throat. And we have to, run a blood tube up. It's like very rudimentary for us, but it's what we do. So a blood tube up his arm so that, it comes out his knife and everything. And that was probably the first time that I felt really kind of nervous around him because he's definitely like a one take kind of guy.
Right.
And we had to rebuild this prop on the day for several reasons. And we just didn't really get a chance to practice. There's no rehearsal. So I'm, on the button basically for it, and he goes and does it, and I hit it, and it goes really well, and everybody's really excited about it. And he turns around and he's like, "Good job," and he gives me a handshake, and I'm like, "Hi, mic drop. I'm leaving. Like, I'm not doing anything anymore. That's all I want. That's all I care about. Like, career high right there." So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's I guess what I mean when it is cool to work with them, right next to each other, but it doesn't happen just as much as I would like for it to, but when it does, it's cool.
Yeah. Chris and I were just talking over the weekend about how like getting the sign off from someone like that, it means a lot. You know what I mean? Because they've seen the bad and the good. They've been in it for so long. So if they say that you did good, or even just give you an acknowledgement, it's like a thumbs up. It means something.
Right.
It has to mean something. Right?
Well, and it was funny because his entourage kept coming to me on one of the first squibs that we did, and they kept asking me, well, how bloody is he going to get? And I was like, well, it's not really facing him, so he's going to be fine. Like, okay, but like how bloody is he going to get? And I had to reassure him like 9 times that he's not going to get bloody. It shouldn't. Like maybe a speck, but he's not going to get bloody. It's fine. And then we did the squib, and they came back and they're like, oh, okay, well, we're just really used to like Tarantino squibs where you're going to get bloody 4 rooms down, if they go. And I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'd like to be on that set, but no, we're not there yet.
Yeah, totally. So you said that right now you're off and you're waiting for the next thing to go.
Yes.
But you don't know yet.
I don't know yet. No, it doesn't seem, it's really weird, honestly, because usually when you're on one show, or what I found is when we're on one show, before that one's done, we're kind of like talking about what leading into the next one. And that kind of hasn't happened yet. I'm not too worried about it, but it just definitely got pushed a little bit. So I'm just, kind of waiting in limbo right now, trying to.
Mm-hmm. So has all this movie making, filmmaking, being on set so much, has it really lit a fire under you to do another Brittany Miles joint?
I don't know. That's a good question, because I think I'm so stuck right now on the documentary that I started years ago and wanting to finish it. And I feel like I shouldn't move on to something until I get it done.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have 17 projects open and not finish any of them. But that one just has a lot of hurdles for other reasons. So part of me wants to say not really, or not right now. I think maybe, I'm not saying like writing it off forever or anything, but I guess I'm just really enjoying kind of doing these gigs and not having to worry about everything that comes before and after doing your own show. So yeah, I don't know. I am kind of like on a pause. I still have my scripts and I know like which ones would come first, but I think I'm going to pause on my own stuff for the moment, maybe for like another year or two. And when I feel like it's right time, or when I can call on the people that call those favors in and be like, yes, we're going to do all of this now. So.
Totally. Yeah. I was just thinking about the documentary because Jeff was here last weekend. And he asked me about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I meant to message you when I saw that he was in town. I was like, I want to message, like on your post. I wanted to say that, but I didn't know if he wanted to like air the fact that he did.
Oh, yeah. Stuff, of course. So, I guess he said it's, he's really curious to see it get made and get done because it sounded very interesting. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Same. Yeah. No, I'm curious to see it.
Because well, for him, because he works because he works on all that big stuff.
Yeah.
He gets so tired of that.
Yeah.
So he loves the other. That's why he likes working
Well,
on it.
it's interesting actually because some of the people who I've interviewed on that actually have passed since then. So it's kind of one of those, like, I think I have the last interviews of some of these people, which, I'm just trying to figure out how to, keep true, I guess, to what the storyline originally was. So maybe that's something I work on during this time. Like I said, I had like 3 days off and then I went to Vegas and then I just came back 3 days or 4 days ago. So I'm still trying to get back into a swing of normal life, and then maybe I can finally sit down and get the last little bit of it shot. So that'd be nice.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks.
So that's Brittany's State of the Union.
All in a nutshell.
Yeah. Caught up to 2026 pretty much.
Yes.
Chris, you're up, buddy. Take us back to the summer of 2024.
Oh God. 2024. What was I doing? That's the hard part. I'm sure it was something in Oklahoma, because that's kind of become my new film state, strangely. This is the first time I've actually traveled, like long traveled for a gig in quite a while, actually. It's been just up to Oklahoma and back, basically. Let's see. I think I was doing Huntsman at that point, which that was a cool, like, cop thriller that had Sean Ashmore in it and Garrett Dillahunt.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
that was really fun. It was like great, and like Kyle, the director, he's amazing. I really enjoy working with him. Sam Calvin, who's the DP, also just super talented and really great. And
what did you do on that one?
I was just AD on that one.
Just.
Of course, like always, on that one, it was funny because I literally, it's the whole shit. Our AD dropped out. Who do we call? And so they called me, and luckily I was available. And so that kind of opened the door again to Oklahoma, and like me actually starting to work there again. So yeah, that was really awesome. And then after that, after that, it was a small indie called Every Heavy Thing, that had, it was Barbara Crampton, and then Josh, I can't remember his last name. He's in the new effects show that they're shooting in Tulsa right now, The Lowdown. Super, super cool, super fun. Mickey Reese was the director. He's done a bunch of like really, really, festival accredited stuff, which is really cool. And it goes under like the horror guys, but like it's not essentially horror. Like it's a weird, crazy story that he always tells, and the way he edits, it's really awesome. So that was cool.
You said that one was in Oklahoma as well?
Yeah, pretty much everything up until like right now has been Oklahoma. I haven't really gone anywhere else. I think I went to Michigan for like a couple of weeks after that. But that was like literally a couple of weeks. I ran up there and then came right back.
And what was that for?
That was just a small little Tubi movie. Basically a friend called in an SOS, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. So I headed up there, but then
was that ADing again, or?
Yeah. Up there, it's kind of like here, or like Houston, not here, but Houston, where it's like you kind of do everything.
Yeah.
So yes, I was AD, quote unquote, but like, there was multiple times where I jumped on camera. There's multiple times I jumped and helped Jeannie. It was just kind of like, hey, whatever I could do to make things move faster, I'd rather do. Then I did a movie called Drive Through Fire. That was with Michael J. White, and that one was pretty cool. Went really well.
Where was that one at?
That was in Oklahoma again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess you said everything else. Sorry, I keep asking that.
Yeah. No, it's cool. They premiered that like a month ago. I don't know where it's coming out. I know it's got.
I did see him post about that. I didn't put together that you'd worked on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Michael J. White and God, who was the other? There was another comedian that was really great. He was really fun to work with. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he had been in some other stuff. He was super fun. Great little show to work on. That one I was just AD on. So I mean,
Just.
Yeah, he keeps saying just.
Well, you'll understand when I bring up I think it is the next project.
Okay.
So it was one of those things where because every heavy thing I actually wasn't the AD on at all. I actually sorry, I should have said that. I actually was doing Genie on that one. So that was cool to kind of take a break, you know what I mean? And not have to worry about all the stress and all that, even though the AD that was on that, I mean, there was one time I was literally hanging a light and he knew I was an AD and he looked up at me and he goes, "Hey, so for travel time, do I have to record that?" Dude, I'm in the middle of hanging a light right now. Why are you asking me a production question? I'm not, you know what I mean? I mean, I answered him, of course, and helped, but it was just one of those weird moments of why, what? So,
well, you can take the AD off the set, but
I guess so. So there's that, and then after Drive Through Fire, we did. Oh god, it was called a movie called Rated, which had it was the little girl. She was the daughter of Ant-Man, essentially.
Okay, the younger one.
Yes, the youngest one. Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry, hit a bump. So she was the youngest, but she was I think she's 15 or 16 now. I might be wrong. I think, yeah, in that age, 15 to 17 is the age range she's in now. So, and she actually was just on The Pit season 1. So that was kind of really cool. It was really fun to be watching that and go, "Oh shit. All right. That's cool." But so that movie was all handheld. It kind of shot what was that show? It was on NBC. It was all about the families, basically. I can't remember the name of it. It had Ed O'Neill in it.
Modern Family?
Yes, Modern Family. Thank you. That was kind of shot that way, everything's handheld, everything's frenetic.
Okay.
And basically, it's I mean, I can't get into detail about what it's about, but it's basically, it was really fun to do. But I was supposed to just be the AD on that. But essentially, Sam, who the DP I talked about for Huntsman, who I work with a lot, we were sitting on set one night, and it was they laid out these cots essentially because it's supposed to be an encampment essentially, and they laid out these cots. Well, I sat down on one of the cots, and it was fine, no big deal. And then he sat down and he was like, "Man, I feel like these cots need to move up a little bit." I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I naturally, I'm on a cot. I lifted my weight and then moved forward. You know what I mean? Sam did not do that. Sam just shifted forward while the cot let go, essentially. And he went basically his ass straight to the support rail to concrete, essentially. So he he hurt his back essentially,
Yeah.
which he was I can't feel my, I think he hurt his sciatic as well, because he was I can't feel my right leg. And I was like, "Oh, that's not," I was like, "Can you move it?" He was like, "Yeah, I can move it. I just can't feel it." I was like, "Oh, okay." And he was like, "I can't operate." And I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Okay, so because we were halfway through our day, I was like, "Well, who's going to finish the day?" We still have to make the day. and Sam's like kind of still on the ground, and he looked up at me and he goes, "I guess it's you." And I was like, "What?" He goes,
This is like a
"Well, I know
superhero
you."
movie.
Yeah.
Just take over.
He was like, "Well, I know you can shoot, and yeah, I trust you." I was like, "You're the only one that I think I can trust to do this." I was like, "Okay."
This seems to happen to you a lot. People get injured or taken out of commission, and then they're just like, "Here, Chris can do it."
And I swear to God, it's not on purpose. Like, I'm not doing this to get.
Yo, yeah, maybe it's a curse. I hadn't thought about
I think
that.
It might be, yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe.
The Warren curse.
But anyway, so that was cool because it was like, oh, awesome. Like, I mean, it was stressful because I'm still having to, not only am I ADing, now I'm actually having to cam op as well. You know what I mean? So like, it was kind of stressful, but it was also kind of like, not that I'm suggesting anybody do this, but it was also like, because you shouldn't. And obviously that takes away a job from somebody else. And I don't ever suggest doing that. But like, it was interesting seeing how I could operate and still AD and still make our day. You know what I mean? Like, it was still like, it was just really interesting, especially like, because it was, I'm the one operating. So it's like, I think.
So how was it yelling at yourself, asking how long the next shadow?
I was going to say, you remember Caps Crossing? It was like, oh shit, that's me. Cause I had to do sound that one time.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh no, I have to roll sound. That's me. So there was a couple times, and I think I even did it on that. I was like, oh fuck, I have to roll camera. So, it was cool and it was interesting. And then like, I did that for like 5 days essentially to let Sam get better. Which of course, like the day after we had this gigantic oneer that we had to do, which I was like, son of a bitch, really? Like, this is the day you get hurt. This is going to be awesome. Which it turned out great. And like, I was super proud of myself because I was like, holy shit, like I haven't done a oneer like that in a very long time.
Yeah.
So it was super cool to like actually be able to be in that and like be a part of that creative side of it again, you know, but also still AD. But then after that, they were like, well, we don't really want to hire, like the director was like, I really don't want to hire a beat cam op because Chris understands the visual language. So can we just make Chris op? And essentially that's what happened. They basically made me the beat cam op. And so like, the rest of the shoot, it was like any day we had beat cam on, I was operating that. So it was just really interesting. And like, that's what I mean by like just AD is like, you know,
Right.
I end up
You aren't piling other jobs on.
Yeah.
yeah. Which was a lot of fun, but also like, I don't recommend doing it all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
You went dark. Can you still hear us?
Basically like for a couple of days till my body kind of got used to it again. You know what I mean? Of like operating. Cause it is a different thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you're ADing, yeah, you're on your feet, but like, it's more mentally exhausting than anything else. You know what I mean? It's not so much physical, at least for me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So whenever I actually had to op, I was like, whoa, like I'm actually both now, you know, like I'm mentally exhausted, but I'm also physically exhausted. Because we also like we were on it was a really pretty zoom lens, but for those the professional zoom lenses are heavy. They're not you know your little photo zooms where they're really light. You know, so I mean it's like carrying 30 to 40 pounds. You know what I mean?
What was
so well not 30 but like 20 25.
What was the name of this movie again?
That was
No, it's just funny because I don't think he can hear us.
Oh, what did I do after?
Wait, can you hear us? No, I don't think you can. Hey, Chris, can you hear us?
Oh, so Graded was in November, and that carried me over into the beginning of 2025, which essentially that started with a movie called Pale Night, which was super cool, super low budget, but super cool because like it was all black and white, set kind of in older times. It was more of an art house piece than it is like a your traditional like feature, you know what I mean? The twins who were the directors, they both really wanted, which funny enough, their last name was Warren, which I was like, that's bizarre to me.
There you are. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
We could hear you, but you obviously couldn't hear us, and then we lost your video.
I'm good.
Yeah, we heard everything. We heard all your story.
Pretty much up until you asked if we could hear you. So you were talking about the movie directed by the twins.
Yeah. So that was Pale Night. That was a lot of fun because basically like that turned into, because obviously as the years have progressed, I've just kind of bought gear and continued buying gear because I just knew like from the light, like obviously I come from the lighting background and everything else, and I just always have had interest, and plus it just helps everybody, you know.
Yeah.
Realizing how much gear I've actually accrued. I mean, the fact that we basically, on the electric side at least, I can light an entire movie. It was actually kind of cool. I mean, I kind of already knew that with like in betweening because that's kind of what we did, you know. But to see it on a different level, and like the fact that like we were doing more art house stuff, obviously with a little bit of supplementation from Barry whenever he was at Nanlight. He's no longer at Nanlight anymore, but when he was, that was really cool to like be able to do that. And then also on that one, because it was such a small film, it was like being able once again, like kind of bouncing back and forth and helping GD because like they just didn't have the manpower, you know what I mean, to do everything we needed to do to achieve the movie. And, you know, like it was also just nice to like be on that kind of a feature where like we all understood the movie we were making, you know what I mean? And like there was no ego, there was no bullshit, there was no drama. It was like we're all here to help each other. Let's make an awesome movie, you know what I mean? So that was really cool. And after that, what did I do after Pale Night? 25 is kind of a blurry. I can't remember exactly.
Well, yeah, it seemed like you were constantly busy or constantly gone that year. I think the only time I really saw you was when you came in to do the play with Julie, because that's when I gave you that backpack with all the barbecue meat in it, and then I got it back from him the following this, you know, just like a couple weeks ago, you know. So
yeah, I mean, and to tally back on that, it was kind of like with Brittany, it's like everything kind of blew up in a weird way. Like, and I'm like not mad about it. I was super happy and like just glad that it did. But like, same thing for, you know, me. It's like I had a bunch of people being like, "Man, how are you so busy right now?" And I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of working out that way, you know? Like lots of friends in LA and stuff like that were just like, you're just constantly. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like, which is great. But I did feel bad for people that obviously, you know, weren't getting that, you know what I mean? Oh, that's what 2025 was. So I also went to St. Louis, for a movie called Fairlight, which was really cool, with Bradford Haynes, an actor years ago on a movie called Undefiled. That was super cool. He's an ex-baseball player turned actor. That was a lot of fun to shoot, like, and that was cool. And then I went back to St. Louis for another, God, what was the name of that one? Anyway, I was in St. Louis twice, and it was like back basically just 2 features essentially, which was really cool and awesome to do. That one's called Rough Draft. And that actually had the guy that played Lawnmower Man in it.
Jeff Fahey.
Yes, and Mina.
So you've worked with Pierce Brosnan and he's together. You have the Lawnmower Man cast.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I had worked with Jeff before, but not in the AD capacity. I had worked with Jeff on a movie in Brownsville during COVID. But I I didn't have much interaction with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was cool to be able to actually work with him on a movie and interact with him, because he's super cool and like really great to work with. And then Mina was really great to work with as well. Like that was really interesting.
Who was that?
Mina Sorvino.
Okay, yeah, you're just name dropping. I'm just trying to like catch up with who you're talking about.
Sorry, yeah.
I don't know all your famous friends, Chris.
We're not on the first name basis like you are.
Well, I don't have Samuel L. Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I call him Sammy now.
You and Sammy are like best buds. But yeah, so there was that, and then the last thing I did was a movie called Pretty Babies. That one was wild, but a lot of fun. I'm sorry, not the last movie. There's one more before that, but or after that. And that Pretty Babies was really cool. Worked with some really awesome people, awesome casts.
Was that in Oklahoma or where was that one?
Yeah, that one was in Tulsa. So yeah, I got to work with some really awesome people. I can't name drop those people because that's still kind of like NDA for sure. But yeah, that was really cool. Also really cool to like get back with Randy and, you know, good old Randy at Rebellium as
Yeah, I know Randy. Room temp Randy. Because he always liked drinking room temp water.
Oh, there you go.
So he became room temp Randy. Because he's producing a lot up there now, right?
yeah. So he's kind of, I mean, he's still acting, but like he's gone way more into like the producer route. And so him and his wife's company Rebellium, they're really doing it. It's really great. So, and I love working for those guys that are just, you know, Randy tries to do it the right way. You know what I mean? Always.
Yeah.
So, which is great. And they're always wanting to actually like, not, you know, the goal for all of us is like, they're just constantly stepping. It's like, oh, we're just going to stay in this, you know, $1.5-2 million range. It's like, no, like.
Yeah, just making the same, plateauing out at this, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
which is great.
And he produced that movie you did with Ron Perlman and Esai Morales. I can't remember the name of it, but the Western.
Cottonmouth.
Okay.
Yeah, Cottonmouth.
Okay.
Which
That's
is
come out, right?
Which, yeah,
Okay.
that's out. So if anybody wants to check that out, which was also a lot of fun. That one was crazy, but it was a lot of fun because it was kind of the same thing Brittany was dealing with on. I can't remember the name of the movie with Pierce Brosnan, but that one, old Western, like horses, gunfights, like having a dude basically on a noose on top of a horse, just a lot of crazy stunts, and we had to do it all in 15 days. So it was one of those things that I like. The second they told me, I was like, really? This is like gunfight, horse fight every other page. Like, and you want to do this in 15? Oh, all right, let's try it. We did it, which is great. And, you know, I think the movie turned out really well for what we had and everything else. You know what I mean? Esai's great. So is Ron. They both were amazing. I think we've already discussed all that, but
Yeah, I think that was the last thing you may have talked about.
yeah. So yeah, that was cool to go back to Rebellium and kind of like be able to kind of get back in with them. And like, now it seems like that's becoming more of a thing, which is awesome, which I'm super stoked for because they've got a lot of projects coming up. And in fact, after I finish this one, that'll be the next thing I jump on is another Rebellion film, which will be really cool. So that's cool in Oklahoma, obviously. And then the last thing I did was another cool little indie drama, which was the director kind of wanted to be a little more artsy with it, which was cool. And that was kind of it. that's it, at least for now. You know what I mean? Up to obviously what I'm doing right this second in 2026, which is on a long drive to West Virginia.
What are you doing for this week that you're there? Are you doing just AD?
Nope. Believe it or not, I am just cam up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this will be, and it was kind of nice because I jumped in the production meeting for this, and like the AD was talking. I'm like, man, this is what it feels like to be on the other side of this. Like I just,
Are you just trying to plan out ways to ruin his schedule?
I'm like, how can I mess this up? You know what I mean? No, not at all. Not at all. And in fact, like, it's going to be interesting because I actually don't. There is no AD for me on this, and I don't want to either. You know what I mean? It's kind of nice to like have a break and like not have to worry about any of that. You know? So
Yeah.
That's super cool. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. It's and then back to Oklahoma, and sounds like there's like another 3 or 4 more projects in Oklahoma this year. So that'll be super awesome.
I have to say, Chris is making his own name in Oklahoma because I was up there at the beginning of last year on an Oklahoma film, working just 3 or 4 days on this rain job.
Yeah.
Chris was not on the show, but as people started asking where I was from, and I said Houston, all of them went, "Do you by chance know Chris Warren?" And I was like,
wow.
I do actually know him. And everybody was so excited that I knew this Chris Warren guy. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
Look at you.
Name dropping Chris Warren. I really wish it would have just frozen on that photo.
Yeah,
Like,
right. That would have
that's-
been perfect. I may do that in the edit.
Just phrasing on me doing this.
Yeah. So I will pose the same question I posed to Brittany, and I know the answer to this, but you haven't talked about it publicly. But I'm sure all of this has made you want to do more of your own stuff again.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think you and I talked about this after In-Betweening and like everything else, because it was just obvious that like it kind of lit the creative fire back in me. You know what I mean? Of like, I want to, I mean, I've always had it, but like, I want to start making my own things again,
Yeah.
because, after obviously In the Blood and everything else, that was just kind of a thing, you know what I mean? And it kind of knocked the wind out of my sails a little bit. And also it just got so busy in being an AD that it was like, I don't have time to worry about this and I got to pay bills. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now, this was about probably 2 years ago, started writing this script called Season Killers. It's really kind of turned out to be something kind of cool. Pitched it to, speaking of, to Pretty Babies. We were at a party one night, and one of the producers asked me, because she could tell I do, obviously she like could tell I do a lot, and she was like, and I was also kind of in that movie, and I mean a lot of with the first time directors, it's like I'm always kind of their support, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they kind of lean on me sometimes whenever things are like not working, and it's like, what do we do to make our day but still be creative? So that was after seeing that, kind of talking with Amanda. She basically was like, "Oh yeah, do you direct?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And she was like, "Well, what's your script?" And so I told her about it, and I can't say who, but we talked about. She was like, "Who do you want in it?" And I said, "Somebody that I thought about." And she was like, "Oh, I have a connection to him." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So currently right now we are pitching it to several actors, bigger names. We'll see. You know what I mean? Obviously I know just as well as, Mel, and Brittany, as well. It's like, I'm like not really getting my hopes up, you know what I mean? Because some of these names, I'm like, there's just no way, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't see that. It'd be awesome, but I don't see that,
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, well, who knows? Maybe they do, and if they do, that's great. And so that's kind of where I'm at, I'm just trying to get it made. I want to want to make my next feature. I'm kind of want to get out of the AD, get in the director's seat again. So that's where we're at. And I'm writing a couple more things. It's kind of been an interesting year of like me like going, I think I want to get back to writing and get back to directing a little more. Obviously still ADing, still being crew, because obviously that's what pays the bills. You know what I mean? But hopefully I can start making the transition to direct more if I can, so.
Yeah, we need to make that happen. Actually, I should say you need to make that happen because I don't know if I want to work on it at this point. I'm so tired. I'm still so tired of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm getting tired of it again via your stories.
Jesus. Well, you think you're tired?
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're over here just ADing.
That's it.
Just,
Yeah. Well, yeah, we often are like, man, I don't know how Chris does it. I'm at home and I'm just like, because I don't know if I could have done it when I was your age. You know what I mean? It just exhausts me. But great job. You're like
We're rooting for you over here.
Yeah, like Brittany said, you're obviously kicking ass because people putting respect on your name, Chris.
Yeah, which I love it. You know what I mean? I mean, most of the crew in Oklahoma, because it's not small in Oklahoma, but they are a tight knit group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of them know me, and like some of them know me that I am kind of that multi-hyphenate of like can do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of times where like if we're on a job, even if it's like union based, like an AC who knows me will be like, Chris, can you hold camera really quick? Because you're like the only other one I trust and I need to go do something. Yeah, that's fine. So I'll like hold camera, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. That like, it's just cool that like I kind of have that. I hate to say that, not hate to say this, but like I have that film family, you know what I mean? Kind of in Oklahoma of like everybody I kind of was accepted and brought in, you know what I mean? Even though I'm not from there, So
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Buffalo too. It's funny that happens, but I'll take it.
Yeah, I will too. Like, I mean, I love all those guys. I mean, even to a point that like, and I think Mel, I told you about this, but like, there's a reality that like, I'm probably am, if things go right this year, kind of the way they look like they're going to go, I'm not moving, but I'm probably going to like start renting like a house with a couple other film friends up in Oklahoma, just because I'm just tired of not having my own space,
Yeah.
You're spending more time up there than you are home.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense, talking with JC about it, my wife, and like, she totally agrees. She's like, you're there all the time. Like you should have your own space, so, and also just a space for if she wants to come up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just like, that's kind of just a thing, that we're exploring, but I got to see how this year goes. And if it does stay that busy, then yeah, it'll probably become a thing,
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's cool to hear. I'm happy for both of your successes.
Oh, thanks.
And again, I'm glad it's not me. but it's awesome that, and to be the bitter Houston guy again, just for a second, I haven't done it yet since I've started this again. It annoys me that more people don't prop you guys up because of the work you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's probably because we're not doing it in Houston.
yeah, we're right. Or it's like you got the Mel curse somehow.
Yeah.
Like you got some of my Negro non grata rubbed off on you. But you should be respected and held in high regard. I think about the work. Obviously, I don't need to say that. Just listen to the credits you guys listed off. You know what I mean? So that's all the sincerity you're getting from me.
Well, it all started right here on this podcast 9 years ago or
did.
whatever.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It all started from walking distance, you know what I mean? So
yeah, well, us driving back from that movie
I was about to say
Lancaster. Yeah.
Or was going to say our beautiful photo on the side of the road after someone hit
Oh
a deer.
yeah, that one just came up in my memories. Yeah, recently too.
why are we gonna bring that up?
Yeah.
Oh God.
When we lost signal, I was wondering if you had hit more wildlife on the road.
Every time his phone drops.
Last night I'm driving through the hills of, Tennessee, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, please. It's like 2 a.m. I do not, no animals, please, no animals.
Oh yeah, yeah. Domingo and I made that drive. We were driving up to promote Closet Space. It was one time, and it was the scary because it was middle of the night, pouring rain, and just it's curvy through the mountains or whatever, and we were kind of just following the semi because we're like, okay, as long as we're sort of like we see him and we're kind of going where we're safe, and then I swear this happened. We just see it go off the road.
Oh my!
I mean, the lights just go whoop up and down, and the trailer goes like this. And we drove by and just saw it, the cab wheels spinning. It hadn't flipped, so the guy was okay, but it was definitely like jackknifed in the ditch on the side of the mountain. So we're like, maybe we should go a little bit slow, yeah. But yeah, that just thinking about that drive gives stresses me out because it was, again, things we do when we're younger. Enjoy it while you can, Chris.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, I don't know if I said this, but like I literally was like, hey guys, could we just fly me out? I'm just BKM up. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like there's no real reason for me to drive, And they were like, no, it's actually cheaper if you drive. And I'm like, we'll see about that. And
I drive a big truck.
Yeah. Are you bringing equipment with you?
I mean, because I am driving, yes, I brought a couple of things that are just going to help, you know what I mean? But I didn't bring like my normal pack out where like the truck's fully loaded, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not saying you weren't flying and expecting them to like ship a pallet of stuff out or whatever. You were just gonna,
Not like Hawaii with Mark where literally they were like, hey, it's cheaper for you to fly. It's cheaper to ship all your gear to us than to rent in Hawaii. And I'm like, you serious? And they're like,
yeah, I've heard that.
Community.
Yeah.
They just run their own rates. Like this is what you're gonna pay. There is no negotiation.
No, it's like paying the mob out there.
Yeah.
So I literally had to pack all my lights and ship them to Hawaii and have them shipped back. So that was pretty nuts. Yeah, that was crazy. But that one, obviously, I flew for. There was no way to.
Obviously,
Yeah.
he got invited to the Hawaii shoot. Mark just takes me to the frozen tundras. If you're listening, Mark, I'll remember this.
I'll say the funny part about Hawaii was like we were on the Big Island, and so it wasn't like we were in Kauai or something like that. That like obviously it was still beautiful, but like it was one of those things where like I was like, oh cool, we're gonna like shoot where we actually like see Hawaii, and how beautiful it is. Right. No, like we were inside theaters and all this other weird shit that I'm like, we could have shot this in LA. Like, why are we here? Granted, I'm not mad, but I'm like, okay, it was just bizarre. So
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say that I think that it's been over an hour actually, so I think that about wraps it up for your guys' recap. Any final thoughts from either one of you before we wrap? Because who knows when we'll have you both on recapping again? It'll be another like 2 years probably. So
No.
So I'll be in my wheelchair.
Well, if I'd known I could zoom in like Mr. Chris over here, I would just zoom in wherever I am.
Well, Chris dropped this on us over the weekend. So
it was literally an SOS phone call at the last minute.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Yes, I got it. And literally because it's Mark, when he called me, I was like, fuck, now I got to tell Mel, can I like zoom in or something? I was like,
oh yeah. I'll be doing a lot of interviews this way. So,
and also like, obviously Brittany, I haven't seen you in it's been a year.
Yeah, I know. I felt a little slighted when I saw your text yesterday. I was like, oh, okay, it's not going to be in person. That's cool. That's fine.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want to.
No, we'll make it happen before 2 years.
Yeah, we will endeavor to do that. Now that I'm doing it on a regular basis, hopefully We'll see. We'll see if I can keep it up. Because I told Brittany, like, now that I'm doing it, now it's like become work.
Yeah.
So we'll
Extra
see.
work you're putting on yourself.
Yeah. So we'll see. And I've run out of things to talk about. So I'm like, it's not about me anymore. So is it worth it? We'll see.
Stay tuned or don't.
Yeah, or don't. If you don't see another one, that's why.
Maybe we can get some other people from Oklahoma or people Brittany have worked with as well, you know?
Oh, yeah. I've got, for sure. I would love that because I've got maybe 5 or 6 lined up. So, and I'm trying to do them like every 2 weeks or so, just not to burn out, maybe every 3 weeks. I put Joe's out pretty fast because they're doing that Kickstarter, but I was going to try to drag it out a little more and just bank a few. But yeah, for sure. I would love to have people on that want to talk. Because people obviously, like I said, people kept asking me about it. They're hungry for it. They love listening to it. Like, it's nice to hear, I guess, filmmaking podcast. It's not a bunch of PR release bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's actually like us just chatting, you know?
Yeah. This is what it really takes to do this. Right. So,
well, cool.
Yeah,
Let the listeners know where they can.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of time away from home.
Yeah. A lot of time away from home. Let people know where they can find you if you want them to find you, if they're looking.
Yeah, I still don't really do social media. So
Yeah,
I just have my one Facebook, which is my name, Brittany Miles.
Yeah. And she's got her employment all wrapped up, so she doesn't have to worry about it. What about you, Chris?
Still Christopher Warren on Facebook. Look for the elector mask because there's apparently found out, you know, obviously on Julie's show we hear there's 2 of us.
Oh yeah, there's another Chris Warren on that. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, did the Facebook thing come through?
Yeah, you said Lecter Mask is where we lost you.
Yeah. So look for the Lecter Mask, obviously. Then on Instagram, see War54.
Cool. All right. Well, drive safe. Enjoy
Yes.
your week-long shoot, and we will try and catch up again soon. Brittany and I are about to, in about 10 minutes, enjoy some Chamac. So think about that.
Think about that on eBay.
All right, dude. Talk to you later.
See you, Chris.
All right, guys. All right, bye.
But
All right. And Brittany, that's it for us as
Nice.
well. Yeah. Been an
Yes.
hour. I can't wait to hear what you have going on next. Yeah, food time for sure. My stomach's growled like 3 times.